Peace, peace, everybody. Let me see. Today, in response to GMS again, I basically want to do Isaiah 49:6 today. Real easy scripture to understand. This is one of the head turners, one of the head bangers that puts a lot of the One West camps or buries a lot of them in the ground. This text is to confound folly. And I usually bring this text out and they don't respond to it, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, but I'm going to deal with it. You know, a lot of these brothers, they deal with, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Tired for real. A lot of these brothers, they deal with, what can I say, they deal with the New Testament. So for those that deal with the New Testament, it's going to be fairly easy, you know, to confound them real quick and deal with these GMS brothers. So one of the reasons why I'm making these posts is because me and the brothers, we did a show, I want to say a while back, and so the GMS dude had responded to the show that we did, and he was going in, you know what I'm saying, but he wasn't dealing with the scriptures. He basically was just a lot of ranting and, you know, little silly talk basically, you know, and I responded to it, and when I responded to it, he made a response to it. So this is why I'm actually on my second video. The brother has no knowledge in the scriptures. You know, he knows certain things, but he even twists those of the certain things that he know, and he's perverted. You know, I need for the brother to prove to me that he's an Israelite, first off, and that he's a Hebrew. I would like for you to show me some documentation of your lineage or your ancestral tree. Can you please show me those things? That's the first thing. A lot of these brothers, they come forth with this information and saying that no one else can be saved but just Israel, but they don't even know if they Israel themselves. I wanted to bring that out. You know, I need for him to please some type of DNA test or something, bro. Help me out with something. You know, maybe you can use the Shemites or use the Arabs can. If you got a little bit of blood that they got, maybe that'll show that you a Hebrew or something, because you know they Hebrews too just as well. So anyways, I'm just being funny, you know, a little bit, but for the most part, I need for these brothers to prove to me that they're Hebrews. You know, that's the first thing. And if you pull out Deuteronomy 28, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna help you. You really gonna make me mad then when you do that. So you pull that out, I'm gonna show you how you don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna show you how that should be translated and help you brothers out a little bit for the most part. Not knocking the brothers that's out there that, you know, embrace the Hebrew culture and the spiritual side and the concepts of it. I'm not knocking you brothers. It's not for you. You know, some people are Hebrews out there, but, you know, I got to deal with these brothers, so I don't want anybody else to get offended by what I'm about to do to these dudes. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to deal with Isaiah the prophet 49:6. Let me go there. Let me get that real quick. Alright, so it's not that. It's really simple. (49:6). And he said, "It is a light thing that thou shalt be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel." Now to understand this, notice he said, "It is a light thing for my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob." The tribes of Jacob consist of all of Jacob. That's the first thing. All of the tribes of Jacob. The tribes of Israel are the father of the Israelite tribes. So he said that he will raise up the tribes of Jacob, and watch what he says, and to restore the preserved of Israel. This is a Moshiach text, so he's talking about the Moshiach in this text. This is a Moshiach text. So he's talking about the Moshiach will raise up the tribes of Israel, which consist of all of Israel, and also to restore the preserved of Israel. The preserved of Israel is those that are basically your governments or your leaders or your rulers, basically. To restore those that are preserved to be in position are those that are over the rest of the Israelites, or those that are called out or sanctified or set apart for the usage of exhorting the kingdom on high, or giving instructions to the people. These are your pastors and your shepherds, so to speak, whatever the case may be. All right, so we have to restore the preserved of Israel, and also to establish or raise up Jacob. Watch this. Watch what he says. I will also, underline also, because we have all of Israel being dealt here with, the preserved out of all of Israel, and then he says, I will also give thee for a light unto the Gentiles. The conjunction thereof also. I will give thee for a light unto the Gentiles, he said. Also, now that we get Jacob out the way, the preserved out of Jacob, the tribes of Israel, now he's saying, I will also give thee for a light unto the Gentiles. Now watch what he's about to say. That thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. My salvation unto the end of the earth. Well, in part 1, the video I did earlier, I told you that Abraham was to be a blessing, and through his seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. So once again, this scripture backs up the scripture in Genesis chapter 12. That through Abraham's seed, all the families of the earth will be blessed. And this is saying the same thing. The seed that he's talking about is the Moshiach that will come through the lineage down the line. And this seed will cause the covering of the atonement to take place, as we see it took place then. Alright, so look. We see that, right? Let's grab a couple of more scriptures and we're going to be done. This ain't going to take too long. This ain't going to take too long. Luke 2 and 32. Watch what he says. For my eyes have seen thy salvation. This is Luke 2 and 30. Let's deal with Luke 2 and 30. For my eyes have seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared before the face of all people. Before the face of all people. A light to lighten the Gentiles. That's the also that was mentioned back in Isaiah 49 and 6. That's the also. That's the also. Watch what he says. A light to lighten the Gentiles, and the glory of thy people Israel. So he's a light, which is the also, to lighten the Gentiles. And he's the glory of thy people Israel. Just wanted to bring that out so we can clarify that. Alright, watch what he says. Acts 13 and 47. For so hath the Lord commanding us, saying, I have set thee to be a light of the Gentiles, that thou shouldest be for salvation unto the ends of the earth. So look, in Acts 13 and 47, Paul was talking to the Jews. It was in a synagogue, which was the northern tribe, because they was called Jews too. Because Jews became to be a concept for the whole house of Israel. That's the first thing. And we can prove that too in another video. So he's talking to the Jews or the Israelites, right? This in the northern portion, or this in Europe. And while he's talking to them, they didn't want to hear him. So the Gentiles received the word with gladness, so that his salvation may be to all, or to the people of the ends of the earth. That's the first thing. Through thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. All the families of the earth be blessed, as he said in the scriptures. That's simple. Watch this. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's go to let's jump to Isaiah 11. Isaiah 11. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, and the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, and the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes. Understand that. He will not judge after the sight of his eyes. That's because he is conscious. He is not self-consciousness. And the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil is something that he is not really dealing with. Because that tree is what causes one to look on self and to make judgment by the appearance. He is not going to judge like that. Watch it. Neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. Watch this. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked, and the righteous shall be the girdle of his loins, and the faithfulness the girdle of his reins. Now watch what it says. Watch this. Let's jump to 10. And in that day there should be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for ensign of the people. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Let's key in. To it shall the Gentiles seek. The Gentiles will seek this. And his rest shall be glorious, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again to recover the remnant. So the Gentiles will seek him, as the scripture says, that his salvation may be to all the ends of the earth. Peace to everybody out there. I wanted to bring that out to GMS, the Grandmaster Snakes. You brothers can get this work. You brothers can get this work. And with that being said, look, I suggest you brothers sharpen up on your text or the scriptures, because this is just a little bit of something. There's plenty more where that came from. With that, I want to say peace, shalom to everybody that's out there. And may mercy and grace foreshadow your households as you walk in the instructions of the Most High God. And once again, your faith is initiated by love. There's a season for different things. And right now, we must establish a love in order to walk forth. Therefore, when it is time, they will know that we have loved them and God has loved them, but they choose to continue to do folly and wickedness. So therefore, so this harmony can go forth, or this CD can keep on spinning, we must take the scratches out and start back playing this music of harmony. For those that don't understand, you might get that later on. With that being said, this video is supposed to be 10 minutes, but it's 15. So peace.